Hello and welcome to all you Scorpios. Welcome for your monthly forecast for Scorpio for June 2015. A very exciting month that is. Now, first of all, let's start with Saturn. It's only a very small percentage of the Scorpios that are going to have Saturn back into their sign. And it's as from, Saturn goes back into your sign as from, let's have a look, around the 16th, and it's going into 29 degrees of Scorpio and 28 degrees of Scorpio, so up until September. So it's only those who have planets there, like the Sun or the Ascendant or Moon or Venus, Mars, Mercury. And so those who have a birthday, I'll have a look. A birthday around the very end of November, so the 20th and the 21st of November. Now they will have Saturn on their sun sign, on their ascendant, and so on. So this means that there is some finishing touches to do, considering the redefining of yourself. So a lot of Scorpios have been redefining themselves, have been restructuring themselves. They know very much now what is important in life, what isn't, what works for me, what doesn't. They have matured even more than they already are. I mean, as a sign, Scorpio is a very mature sign, I think. So there are still some choices to make for some of you. But it's, as I said, it's very, very little percentage, but it's very important for those of you who are having this transit, because this is a big one, and it's a finishing up. It's just a couple of months that it doesn't necessarily have to be hard, but it has to do with reality, you know, the reality check. So and Scorpio loves reality. So it welcomes reality, even though it says it's not always good, beautiful, or it's not always what they want to see, but they can deal better with reality than with the not knowing. They hate that position. So still some of you will be redefining themselves, restructuring themselves. Some relationships to consider as well, or some jobs to consider, you know, especially if you've got the Sun there. Now, what in general happens for June? A very positive transit, that is Venus and Jupiter are going to be in the same sign in Leo. Venus enters Leo in around the 6th of the month. That's going to be on top of your chart. Which is very cool, which is good, and Jupiter is there already. So it's going to the two benefits are going to join each other, Venus and Jupiter, and then they're going to trine Uranus. So what does it mean? In general, it means opportunism, opportunities coming your way, probably when it comes to work. Why? Because it's in your 10th house of work. And Uranus is in the 6th, which is also work, which is your day-to-day routine. The 10th is more, the difference between the 6th and the 10th, the 6th is more your day-to-day work, the day-to-day things that you do. And the 10th house is more the place in the world that you have. So you can have, like, for instance, a part-time job in the morning, to pay the bills, you could say, you know, in a bank, you work in a bank, for instance, but you don't really like it, but you just do it because for the bills, but you're doing astrology besides of that, and that's the 10th house. Now, I'm going on a side path here, I have a feeling, but this is maybe important for you because there's such an emphasis on work houses, and it's good energy. So for you, there can be opportunities, with Venus and Jupiter there especially. Opportunities when it comes to work, in teaching, in beauty, in publishing, in explaining things, languages, or maybe your own business. There is really expansive energy here going on with the Venus and the Jupiter. And it can happen all of a sudden, because Uranus is in that 6th house. So all of a sudden, your day-to-day routine can change because of an opportunity that comes up. And of course, it's up to you whether you take it or not, but it seems a very good one. And it has to do with a lot of meaning for you. No matter what it is, it means a lot to you. It can have to do also with connections from abroad, because there's Jupiter there. So very good energy. It can also mean that you fall in love at work. That could mean it as well, because the Venus is there in the 10th house and a trine with Uranus. You could fall in love with your boss, actually. That could happen all of a sudden. But it's very much on a friendly basis. Whenever I see Venus and Uranus, so it's not the Neptunian idealistic love. It's the love that comes to you that is all about friendship, and that is all about us understanding each other and having the same values as well. So it could be good. It could be very good. For those of you who are already in a relationship, it can mean that you get promotion, and you are valued by your superiors, and it comes out of the blue. It comes all of a sudden, but it has consequences for the future, because the asteroid named Juno, that's the asteroid of commitment, is also transiting your 10th house in Leo. So there's a lot of, so it means the value that you will get is long lasting, and it's something, it's not just, let's say, a bonus of a very small amount of money. No, I think it's something that is more long term, not necessarily in money. But you will value it very much. So be open for that. This is a really, really nice energy for you Scorpios. And next month, Venus will go retrograde in that 10th house. So it also shows that a retrograde is a standing still, and is an energy that goes on a bit longer. And Venus is already about evaluating about what do I like, what don't I like. So maybe you are changing jobs, could be the case as well, and maybe you are traveling for jobs. Now, what else is going on? A bit the same like last month, because the Mercury retrograde is in your 8th house, which is your house, the 8th house of Scorpio. And the Mercury retrograde, it goes direct on the 12th or around the 12th, but the whole process ends, you could say, around the end of the month. Then you will have the clarity, and you will have lots of clarity when it comes to something metaphysical, something that you've been wanting to grasp for a long time. I mean, with the mind on a very deep psychological level. It can also have to do with death, rebirth, that process. Maybe you are reading books about that, near-death experiences or whatever. But it can also be some anxieties or some things that were difficult for you and that are coming to a solution now. You get it now, I mean mentally. So because it's Mercury. Now Mercury squares up to Neptune, so that there will be still, especially in the beginning of the month, the first 2 days, and around the 22nd, 23rd, that's just a day of a bit of confusion, because Mercury squares up to Neptune again. It does that 3 times, last month as well. I made a separate video about the Mercury Neptune. If you want to know more, click the link below about that energy. That was coincidentally that I did that. But this energy is about information that you're gathering, but you don't have it all, the information. And for you, it's in that 8th house. So the metaphysical, the things that are going on a very deep psychological level with you, the things that you are not too open about, the things that are private. It could also have to do with an inheritance, for instance, because Mercury goes, and that there are some misunderstandings. But what it all boils down to is that the clearance comes at the end of the month. So if there is some money that is owed to you, there will be clearance around the end of the month. So mostly it is when the aspect is over. Between Mercury and Neptune, that clearance comes in. And last but not least, your ruler, the traditional ruler of Scorpio is Mars, is in the 8th house with conjuncting with the sun. Now you could say, oh, you have to watch out that you don't burn yourself. Yes, that you are not going too fast in what you want, in your desires. Because the sun and the Mars, these are two male planets. And when they are in the 8th house, this energy becomes very strong, and it becomes very dominant almost, so compelling almost. So, but there is, you as a Scorpio, you know how to control that because of your awareness and because of your strong, you know, most Scorpios, they do have strong backbones. That's the characteristic of a Scorpio, the control. And you can use that in a good way and to control the desires and to use that very fiery desire to stand up for yourself and to do the things that need courage. Because whenever you see the Sun and Mars together, it means there is an amount of courage that you can tap into more than ever. So if there's something that you're afraid of, a little thing or a big thing, do it around the first 2 weeks of the month, because then there is this huge dare energy. You know, the Sun conjunct Mars is very forceful, is very powerful, and you can better use it in a positive way. Don't use it to undermine yourself or to use it for doing something that you know that is very good for you, but that you are afraid of doing. Therefore, it's a very good time to initiate that. So, very interesting month again for you Scorpios. Very interesting month, and I wish you all the best. Thank you a lot for your support, you dear Scorpios. Thank you a lot for your the ordering of readings and the likes and all of that. And see you next month. Bye bye.